We have Mehdi Saqi, the director of The Prompt Floor, with us today. Hi, Mehdi. He's from Morocco and he's a filmmaker. I would not say just an AI filmmaker because I've seen his film and it's just amazing. It's too funny. It's like it just goes directly into to a full form and not kind of experimental. So do you feel AI filmmaking is like more of control for you or like more of chaos and like beauty coming out of chaos? Like how do you feel about it?
Hi, thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for liking and those words on the prompt floor. As your question, I mean AI, filmmaking is not really about control, but more about control is part of the craft, but it's not relative to AI. Any kind of filmmaking of creation has some kind of control, actually. Even you know as a director on a traditional production, it's all about control and having. So I think it's more about creative freedom, more about this creative freedom of being able to create things as per your ideas, your vision, the story you want to tell. So it's the fact that you can even have control more things and have more possibilities. And in traditional filmmaking, there is constraints of technical, of budget, of availabilities, or things that are too too difficult to achieve. But here, and you have to lower down sometimes your vision or your creative freedom. As for AI, you can keep your creative freedom and your vision as it is, and be able to fulfill that. So it's more about having more freedom and using, of course, control to make sure that AI, and it's a very important aspect of AI, since AI gives so much freedom, it's pretty easy to be tempted by AI, or by getting crazy, or maybe seeing something and wanting to do that because even if it's not really the idea I wanted, I really like that and I want to explore that. But the control has to be done as per your initial idea, your script, so that even sometimes, even the most spectacular or crazy things that AI can do, you say no to them because it's not part of your idea. So the control is more about you, about being able to respect the initial vision, the initial ideas, and not to go too much experimental just because you like something or not. So I
How,
think AI
do
is
you
about freedom and control is about you as a creator.
how did you really like zero down on this concept? Because it's actually very high concept, very art house kind of a concept. It's not
Yeah, yeah.
because everybody goes and makes something sci-fi and stuff like that. This feels so human, and this feels like like a funny TV show I would watch on HBO.
Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously it's pretty inspired, by those mockumentaries, like The Office, the like Parks and Recreation, and all those kind of, mockumentaries, series and films and parodies, about filmmaking actually, like Tropic Thunder, or, movies like that, or, that, take a funny step on how films are made, and about people, breaking the fourth wall and, speaking to a camera and be aware that there's camera that is following them. But actually the concept first started like with the short funny film when VO3 just came out. So it was more like an experiment for me. I wanted to test, VO3, which is, basically it was the first breakthrough AI tool with voice in, with speaking people. So basically, I spent one weekend, one day about writing the concept, and one day creating a 2 minute, short comic, funny short film about this front floor with people, commenting on that. And actually, the concept came from true story of what I was doing, which is uh, I was so amazed at why the AI could do in terms of possibilities of speaking, and also all the glitches and all the fails and stuff that I found funny. So basically, the whole story was telling what I was going through me as I was prompting. So I kind of find it funny to imagine what it will be like if the AI tool was actually a virtual movie studio reacting to my crazy ideas that became the prompt floor, the short reception, the film, and then the reception was so huge. People so loved that it won some awards, and we have I had many response of people really digging the concept, and it progressively grew into an idea of, okay, I think it could be interesting to make it as a show concept or a series concept. So I decided to write the first episode and gives us that.
So do you have like more episodes planned, and like are you making like more episodes or a film out of it, or what's the plan with this? Because it's a huge hit.
Yeah, already I'm already writing the second one and the third one, and even when I started to think of it as a series, I started by imagining the different themes and episodes of what could a show like this look like in terms of stories and in terms of themes and episodes, so that it's not just a bunch of Easter eggs or jokes, but there is actually, very interesting, hidden themes behind it. So that is not just running gags about, the behind the scenes, but this one I wanted really to speak about this odd relationship between human and machine, and the thin gap that is, getting thinner and thinner about being able to understand each other, and is a machine capable of understanding human feelings, and before the AI was just about machines and program algorithms answering like typical prompts. Now the AI is evolving to a state where it understands also us and understands the meaning behind a request or behind an idea. So it's like the layer that is behind all those jokes is about, could an AI actually understand human feelings, and what the AI thinks about us as also as humans with our imperfections or our weird ideas. So it was the theme, and obviously what I'm doing right now is writing other episodes with other interesting themes also to explore this film.
You said like AI is trying to understand us, like emotionally and stuff like that. So I wanted to know, did the AI ever surprise you emotionally? Not visually, but emotionally, did it do something where you thought, oh man, this is like.
Yes, yes and no. I mean, it surprised me as how well the result is, but everything, and that's what you talked earlier about control. Everything is written. Every tiny expression or subtle, glance or tone of voice or awkward silences. Everything is written, is prompted. There was not so much improvisation by the AI, because, as you said, I wanted that to feel as natural and human as possible. And
Mm.
when you leave freedom to AI, sometimes it tends to be a little bit, over the top performance. It's pretty crazy. It doesn't understand on its own very subtle, behaviors. So I made sure that, and obviously the first tests and attempts, it was not believable or maybe just too cheesy or too, exaggerated. But I wanted something that feels almost pretty imperfect and very very subtle, to have silences, to have specific looks, to have specific expressions. Even when the guy, the production manager, production assistant Adam says, like, does this kind of expression like this, I don't know, feelings, this movement of blowing inside your mouth, doing like this. It was written it was written so that I can have that on the screen. So it's pretty much also playing with natural human expression and telling like briefing an actor on set or something. I want to have more hesitation on that. I want you to pause on that word and then look up, search for words, and then all of this was scripted, so that I could have very natural expression. And then it surprised me how well it's understood the the brief. Obviously, not at first attempt. There was many attempts, but at the end, it really surprised me how well you can achieve those kind of natural expression.
Many people look at it like, like they go into it like an as an editor, they play this Russian roulette with like prompts basically,
Yeah, yeah.
and whatever they get they do. But from your perspective, as I understand, you are kind of a writer first, and then you have made this into what you have written with intent has kind of come out in this fashion. More than a discovery, it is more like a painting, like an artistic painting that you do one by one from what you have written. It's is that kind of a
Yes.
feeling.
Yeah. For me, that's the one thing that will never change is that you have, and it's something that is very important for me as a creator using AI or CGI or traditional production or motion design, anything. Everything comes. I always start with the page. It's always it starts with the page. It starts with the story. It starts with writing. I do not click on any button even to generate things unless I have a story, a script that I'm happy with. So that then it gives me uh, this highway of knowing exactly what I want in my head, and not. Then there is, of course, there is some improvisation, good surprises, but always uh, in the case where AI surprises me with something I didn't expect, I have a sacred document where I can say, okay, does it fit with the story, with the art, with what I want the character to be in terms of his personality or her kind of weird personality? And if not, even if the result is great, I will ditch it because it's not part of the story. So writing is very important so that you can keep focus on everything that you are doing.
So you funded it like a hobby, or do you now when this is a successful film and you're getting all these offers from all the film festivals and stuff like that? Do you plan to formalize this? Do you plan to do this like really head on full time, or like what's the plan?
Yeah, I have many projects and stories that I'm writing, full feature films, series, experimental or shorts. So I'm working on many different, types of stories. This one is something very deep to my heart because I like it, because I also write it and create it for me first because I want to have fun, and it's something that I want to watch. So it's something that I do for fun. And of course, the response and the potential of this TV show, I'm thinking really about, creating a full show with episodes on it. Let's see, who knows? Well, let's see what the future will bring us. Maybe it will be full time. It depends on how deep I will go into this, but I'm definitely, now working on creating a full series of the Plan 4 and explore that universe because it's also part of the concept. It's also, as AI evolves, well, you have always new stories to tell and to play on what the AI is at the moment, and all the how the community of AI has evolved, how the technologies have evolved, or how the trends and the pop culture around it has evolved. And each episode, will be kind of a window of how AI is at this moment.
Perfect, perfect. So, last question before we go: what will feel dated in filmmaking in the next 6 months or 1 year? Take a wild guess.
What will feel dated?
Dated
I mean, in general,
in general due to AI, like in a year or so.
what will feel dated? I mean, it's a good story never feels dated. It's otherwise we won't be watching movies from the 60s and 70s anymore. But many of the best films ever that were made in the 70s, in the 60s and in the 80s, and we are still watching them, and they are still so. The very important thing about AI, as per any artistic field that involves technology. Technology is not really the main subject. Of course, it can help you achieve really great stuff, but at the end, a story never dating. So something that you will see 6 months from now or 1 year from now, and you feel the content of the story is kind of dated, it means that your only focus is on the technical aspect. So it means that the story is not very interesting. It did not speak to you. But if it's not, then you don't care about the technical aspects. Are seeing movies in Hollywood now, and are filled with CGI and 3D, and people don't care about them. People forget about them. But you see the original Star Wars or the Never-Ending Story or something. The craft is obviously very dated, but the story is what engages you. What will feel dated 6 months from now is something that will not have an interesting story for you to be engaged with.
Perfect, perfect. Thanks, Mehdi. It was amazing speaking to you, and we hope to see you in India for the AI Film Festival. Hope you can make it, and we will continue this discussion as we go along.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.